Turtles can live for hundreds of years. The Galapagos giant tortoise can live up to 100 years, and the Aldabra Atoll's coralline can live up to 250 years. But why do they live so long? Scientists used to think it was because they were reptiles. After all, mammals like dogs and humans don't live anywhere near that long. But other reptiles like crocodiles don't live nearly as long as turtles, so there must be something else. One idea is that it has to do with their shells. Their shells are made of the same stuff as our nails and hair, keratin. This makes them rigid and strong, which might help protect them from predators. But it also makes them heavy, which doesn't seem to have helped our distant relative. The dinosaurs live longer. Another idea is that it has to do with how they breathe. All living land vertebrates breathe both through their skin and their lungs. But turtles have special adaptations in their skin that help them absorb oxygen more efficiently. It could be these adaptations or their overall low metabolism that lets them get by on just as little as one lungful of air every 3 minutes. That's slower than you blink. But again, this does seem to be the whole story, since other slow-moving creatures, like salamanders, do live nearly as long. Instead, it might have to do with what they eat. Like most animals, turtles need to find food to survive, but they also need to keep their bodies from getting too big. Being small helps them live longer because smaller bodies have smaller cells, which in turn have smaller mitochondria. And those are the parts of our cells that use oxygen to make energy. Smaller mitochondria means a lower metabolism, which means they don't need as much food and they don't grow as big. That means they can go longer without needing to eat, which keeps them from accidentally eating too much. This may be why tortoises can live so long, but it still doesn't explain why they don't get sick from all that extra time spent not eating. Well, when they do eat, they have very strong digestive acids to help break down their plant matter diet. But another key factor is that they don't have to worry about parasites. That's because their ancestors evolved an amazing defense against parasites way back in the lacustrine period, before the dinosaurs even showed up. These ancient turtles had a genetic mutation that let them control the sex of their eggs. Normally, the temperature of the environment determines the sex of many reptiles and birds. But these turtles were the first vertebrates we know of that could have babies of any gender they wanted. This gave them a big advantage over other animals, because it meant that parasites could unskew the population towards one gender and then wipe out the species. Having this superpower may have helped them survive to mass extinctions. But it wasn't until scientists learned to sequence their DNA that they realized why. It turns out having this genetic mutation comes with a couple of downsides. For one thing, it makes them less sexually dimorphic. That's the fancy scientific term for having obvious differences between males and females. Male tortoises only have slightly longer tails than the females. This means that females can sneak into groups of males and avoid unwanted advances from other males. But it also means that it's harder for males to find a mate. To solve this problem, they use their sense of smell to find female pea, which is luckily a lot stronger than their own. So having this genetic mutation may help them live longer by protecting them from parasites and predators, but it also means they have to work harder to find a mate. Maybe there's such a thing as too much advantage. Thanks for watching. If you want to learn more about what makes turtles special, check out the series in the description. A special thanks to our supporters who helped us make this video.